So I was sitting here this morning thinking about the last 25 years and what we've been told that we're supposed to believe from the government, and all the things that, for any of you like myself that grew up being told not to trust the government, to question everything, look for the facts yourself, not listen to the news media. Now, I was just thinking about the last 25 years, especially since 9/11. That was just a bookend for me to put a time on, and everything that's been done to us that we're not supposed to believe. Put aside 9/11 and the Israeli connections, put aside the fact that you're supposed to believe that the buildings, the one building that wasn't hit by an airplane fell by itself, put aside all that stuff. And so from that, here's what we've gained, and here's what we've been given as this supposed free country, this democracy. After that, they created Homeland Security, which now we know was used to gather intel on everyone basically in the world, including us. They created the Iraq War with the, now that we know, weapons of mass destruction that weren't there, which led to Afghanistan, which led to 20 years, which led to trillions of dollars spent so certain people could gain contracts through the government to rebuild and restructure the things that we destroyed based off of false narratives. Then we got a Trojan horse of a person that came into office that's a CIA groomed plant. And the way they made sure that he got elected was they found a patsy, John McCain, and just like in WWE wrestling, they told John McCain, "Look, you're going to take the fall. You're going to do everything you can not to get elected, and we'll help you. And that's your goal." And he was glad to do that because he works for the system. So he took the fall. Then the second time, they got another patsy, Romney, told him the same thing: wrestling, take the fall, you'll come out all right. He did. So just think about those things right there. So we thought we had, uh, I remember thinking back, this is the best they can do. They put a guy up against this imposter, and so you have a choice to vote for some CIA imposter or a clown like McCain, who's obviously bought and paid for by the powers that be. And then they did it with Romney. So then you start realizing, okay, so what they've done is they've worked the system where you lose your options in the primaries, and they set up the primaries so their guy gets picked for the supposed conservative, the fake Republicans, against the insane liberals. So then we move forward, and now you've got this CIA plant running the country. And what does he do? He puts demon woman herself in to run Secretary of State. And what does she do? She goes through and she overthrows Syria, Egypt, Libya, some African countries, some South American countries. And at the same time, while they're weaponizing the government from back from when what Bush, he's just as guilty. And I voted for him, and I apologize for that. But they just weaponized more and more, and they start bringing in all these Muslims into Europe, into the United States, Somalis, Muslims, all part of the plan. But we're supposed to believe this is all just natural occurrences. Then, of course, we get the Trump the first time around, and we all vote for him because we think he's going to come in and save the day. So they set him up. They put him in a box. They investigate him. They had it all set up to take him out, which they did. And then they have the fake election, and then they set that up, steal the election so he can't get reelected. And then they have this whatever that they put in office to run the country, but he sat there and let somebody else do it, pouring in tens and tens of millions of Muslims, Somalis, illegals from every part of the world, every degenerate and lowlife they could find. So what do they do after that? They put up some word salad to run against Trump the second time, yada yada. He gets elected, and then they start trying to kill him, of course. And then he gets elected, and the Israeli lobby finally gets to him. And in my opinion, Charlie Kirk was the changing point where they finally convinced him to play ball with Israel. And ever since then, he has gone full blown Israel, which is just part of the system of the corruption that runs us. And so here we are. We're in another fake made up war. We are paying higher for everything while we're being told what we see is not true. And I voted for the guy, and I sent money to his campaign, and here he is. But you know what? I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid anymore. And that's what I'm kind of talking about is people, we got to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. We're not going to vote ourselves out of this. It's not happening. Just look at the reality over the past 25 years of what they've done to us. Do you really think that we are a free country? Do you really think you have choices? Look around you at the lies, just the stuff that we know about. Think of the thousands of things they've done to us that we don't know about. Think of the trillions and trillions of dollars in the last 25 years that your tax money and mine has gone to around the world to set up, to continue their one world order. And that's what this is about. And people like you and me, we sit here and we have to accept reality. The reality is we are in a completely corrupt, compromised, one party system where everything in Washington, D.C. is corrupt beyond your imagination. Whatever your worst thought is, times it by 1,000, and that's what these people are. What do we do? Well, I'm not going to get into that. We all have to make our choices, but for me, I've made my decisions and I'm okay with that. And I just feel the need that to just say that we need to stop pretending that this is going to be okay, that this is going to change. The people that are lying to us, that pretend to be on our side, they're not. And if they were, they wouldn't be around. They would have gotten rid of him. It's all about the delusion, illusion. We need to stop and we need to really get serious because, in my opinion, they are moving towards major disruptions in the system. The prices, the oil, all the things that are happening, it's all part of the plan. And I understand it's hard. If you thought he was going to come in and change things, I get it. I was there too. But listen, not one person has been convicted of substance. And when Bondi got finally removed, the guy Todd Blanche that stepped up, he just indicted Comey again to make Trump think that he was doing a good job so he could get the permanent gig. And once he gets it, he's not going to do anything. They're not going to do it, and it's not going to happen. We have to stop pretending it's going to be okay. And every one of us is responsible for our own actions on how we do what we do moving forward. And until we understand and accept that, then we are no better than they are because we're accepting it. Let's stop allowing this mafia to screw us and pay our taxes to send to their corruption. You have to accept that just because you can still go buy a 6 pack of beer and make your house payment, that's coming to an end soon. What are you going to do? Wait until that day is here and then it's going to be too late. I think it's time to step up now and take care of whatever you can do with you and your family to be ready. Because you know what? The one thing they can't take from you or me is what's inside of us, our beliefs, our connection to God. They can't take those things away from us. They'll try, but they can't. Because guess what? When we leave this earth, we're going to be better off than we were now. So let's stop letting these nasty, corrupt scumbags rule us because we weren't created to be ruled by other men. Hope to talk to you again soon.